Okay. Good morning, Deborah. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Daryl. Good morning. Today is the 11th of the 11th, 2021, and we're having this an amazing opportunity to be here online where we get the chance to actually speak to our entrepreneurs in Rwanda and for them to be able to have a wonderful conversation with our UK team who are there to support them. What are you thinking about in terms of this morning? What are you expecting? What are you anticipating is going to happen today, Daryl?
I'm anticipating that, it's great. Firstly, welcome to everyone and welcome to our clients, our entrepreneurs from Rwanda that have joined us. I can see them in the room. I have received apologies from Rafiki and from Jerome. Jerome is currently at a hospital, and Rafiki has some visitors at the farm he needs to attend to from district. But that shouldn't stop everyone from presenting their updates and really getting used to the idea of presenting ideas as part of an ongoing process of development. This is part of the ideation process. We might call it in entrepreneurship. It's the same in new product development or developing any new idea. At some point, you have to, take your idea out there and share it more widely, not to be scared, not to be fearful, to get familiar with the unfamiliar.
Mm.
And these opportunities are all put in place from your point of view as a student to, really enable you to do that and to expose you to all sorts of ways in which you can engage, communicate, and share knowledge, ideas, and to get feedback. Deborah, how about you? What's your expectations for this morning?
My expectations for this morning are very similar to what you've just pointed out, that this really is an amazing opportunity that we've carved out where people, across the oceans are able to support the development of entrepreneurship, and equally how this cohort have this amazing opportunity to just grow. And Daryl used a very important word. He used the word unfamiliar. And this whole process has really been designed to make you more comfortable with the so-called unfamiliar, so that as you all step forward in your careers, you feel so much more confident about making changes. Many of you have got incredible ideas about how you'd like to shift and change things for the future. The entrepreneurs also have amazing solutions to genuine problems. And what this module has done has been to create the very tiny steps that you have to go through for you to be able to make those big visions actually come into practice, or actually become manifest. So the invitation or the expectation that I have is that you will use this time to reflect on how you are changing, what you might need to adjust in your plans, in your ideas, what you may need to maneuver so that you can actually achieve your goal. This session isn't like the be all on end all. It's the opportunity for conversations. And I think that's really my expectation, that students will and entrepreneurs will really value the process of conversations like this, so that they can learn to be way more flexible, open up to ideas, adjust where appropriate. And so that's basically what I am anticipating and really welcoming into this space today.
Excellent. Good. Absolutely. This is a flexible space. This is a safe space to support your development as well. So, and I know that the course reps here, Ryan and Ingrid are here, and I think it would be very helpful for them to, I don't know, maybe say something at the end of the session as a conclusion, some learning points from this session for everyone, and to give maybe a vote of thanks. I'll leave that for Ryan and Ingrid to decide who does what. Yes, Deborah, you think that's?
Yeah, I think that's absolutely perfect. Ideal. Yep.
Good. So we're together, and I can see that some of our entrepreneurs are with us. I'm conscious that Jean-Claude, it's now very late in the evening for him in the States. So I think we'd like to start with the presentations. Firstly, let me say I can see Jean-Claude here, Odilon, good morning. Who else is here from Rwanda? Is Evelyn here? I thought I saw Evelyn earlier. Is Evelyn here?
I'm here.
Oh,
Hi,
you're
everyone.
there. Hi, Evelyn. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good. What is your expectation for this session, Evelyn, as a client, as a young innovator and entrepreneur in Rwanda?
I think by the end of this conversation, we hope to learn more, first of all, from the student, and also, especially on the support they are willing to provide to us. We are open for the feedback. And I think the reason why we are here is because we want to grow our organization. And there is no doubt that by receiving their feedback, their recommendation, we'll be able to create a real pathway to our growth and also be able to succeed with the mission that we are aiming to achieve. Thank you.
Thank you, Evelyn. Thank you so much. So who would like to start? I think, Jean-Claude's team. Is Jean-Claude's team here, given that he's probably had a very long day already?
Yeah, we're here, but we're missing one person at the moment.
But you can present.
I'm not sure if we can, because that one person is quite important to our group.
Well, your client is there.
Yeah.
I think he's waiting.
Yeah.
We're all meant to be here at 9 o'clock. It's now 9:15.
Okay, well, our presentation is going to be very short then, so because one part's going to be missing.
Deborah, what do you think here is a teachable moment?
This is a teachable moment. When you're saying that there is one part missing, my suggestion is that you go ahead and do it. My suggestion is that you, as a team, need to go back and reflect in terms of why somebody hasn't turned up for such an important session with an important client. My suggestion is this so-called idea of it being short is that we use this time to begin to unpick your findings. So remember what I said in the beginning. This is not about just simply providing information and then scampering off. This is an opportunity for you to present what you have and then to ask your client what questions that they may have, and then to keep on probing. So my suggestion is that we continue. It's very unfortunate that your team member isn't here, but we need to continue. So that's my suggestion and recommendation.
And this happens in client situations. One thing that I can remember once doing a presentation in when laptops were still very unreliable, and the person didn't bring their charger to make a very important presentation to me as a client and my boss. And you have to have a backup. You have to have a contingency. So, your client is there. Pay respect to your client. They are staying up late in the evening in America to join you and listen to your ideas. So I agree that we need to really go ahead, Najib, and see what you have to say and do your best.
Is it okay? Well, made everyone in my group do voice notes in case this would happen. So is it okay if I play Ty's voice note in my microphone?
We asked you to do a simple presentation and your client is here. So it's over to you and your client.
Agreed.
Have a discussion with your client. He's there.
So Najib, for example, say good morning to your client. Hello. How are you? Thank you that you're here. Have a conversation. Hello, really pleased that you're here. And this is our situation, and this is the way that we propose to go forward. Are you happy with this, or would you like to change it? Yeah.
Go.
Hello, Jean-Claude. Are you there?
Hello, I'm there.
Is it? One of my team members are not here. Is it all right if I play his voice note through my microphone? Because I don't know where he is.
But I can hear you.
I'll have to play his voice note through my microphone so that you can hear his bit.
Yeah, no problem. I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Wait, do I have to share my screen or?
Yes, please.
Please.
This is a presentation. Evelyn, I love your smiling face. It's so welcoming to everybody. Thank you for that amazing smile.
Thank you very much, Deborah. It's my pleasure. And it's of course like a sign that I'm enjoying what I'm hearing. Yeah. Can't wait for the end result of this.
Thank you ever so much. Very supportive. Go ahead, Najib. Please continue.
Hello, Jean-Claude. My name is Najib, and today we're going to be presenting to you some marketing ideas for Mariquetta.
Yes. Hello, sir. My name is Jia, and I do some research for PEIST. First one, the Rwanda government has not allocated host numbers in some areas, making it difficult to send parcel after online shopping, and Google Maps in some villages is not working. Second, in January 2021, Rwanda's population was 13.11 million, but Rwanda has only 4.12 million internet users. According to the information, internet user in Rwanda is not too much. The government continues to improve ICT infrastructure. Online service provides and platforms has saved businesses and customers' time. This will help strengthen the logistic industry, supports exporters, and increases capital inflows and created more jobs. And about social, most local residents regard online shopping as a good chance for entrepreneurship and employment. And the last one, in January 2021, internet penetration in Rwanda was 31.4%. According to information, Rwanda does not have enough networks to support Mariquetta. Sorry. Yeah.
Hi, Jean-Claude. My name is Brian, and I've got some marketing ideas that I think might be useful for your business. So my first one is using goals. So using something like SMART targets can help to give you an achievable goal to reach. For example, like how many customers, buyers you want to have by the end of the month, or how many products you want to sell within 2 weeks, and etc. My second marketing idea is using social media. Social media platforms like WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook can help get customers for Mariketa. As social media is worldwide, you'll be able to get customers from all over the world and reach out to many people. My third marketing idea was maximize search engine optimization. This is basically when you type in certain phrases or word linked to Mariketa, and Mariketa will be coming up as one of the first links once searched. My fourth point was visual vibrancy. This is like making your business stand out, having something unique. This will help to give Mariketa a strong identity. Always have something different to other businesses, so customers are intrigued in what you're doing differently and they'll look further into your company. Thank you.
Okay, so this is Ty's bit, so I have to play his voice note now. I need to make sure you can hear it.
Yeah, Najib, I got a bunch of different points, so
Can you hear that, guys?
Yeah.
My name's Ty. My focus is on the customer target segments for Jean-Claude himself. So I went ahead and had a look on his website, marakita.com. And what I could see initially is that his main focus is aiming his sellers at small enterprises to join his business to help them grow. I had a look at his website as well. One of his mission statements, he says that he seeks to respond to marketing, information, and communication gap through his website. What this obviously would mean is that his main goal is to be the middleman. So if we're able to find these small enterprises who may struggle with business in particular by having a smaller reach, we could entice more users into the website itself. Not only that as well, but I had further inspection of his website to see that he also had the ability to allow entrepreneurs to publish stories about themselves into his own magazine on his website. I think personally this would be a good way to entice even more users and traffic to the website to obviously use it itself, thus promoting the businesses as well that are pre-existing on there, and also word of mouth would get around, enticing new users to join. Also, one more thing I did notice as well in that section was that he offered the ability to publish available opportunities such as loans and grants for users, which is pretty good because it offers something different for people to join for, not just necessarily for a business aspect, but this would also entice more users to join the website and increase overall traffic, allow more users to set up with it as well, increasing the word of mouth also. So this would also be pretty interesting. I did have a look as well. So one of the issues was his national address systems. Taking a look on the website itself, I could see that on the Google Maps area below, we could see a maps. It was all set to New York in America, which is obviously fairly pointless because they're all based in Rwanda and Africa. So that could be one potential issue that could be severely affecting the business itself. As a buyer, I'd want ease and I'd want to know exactly where the location is. But likewise, he has made it very easy to show what the company offers and a phone number they can call as well whenever they need to. One issue in particular that I had to look at was Diaspora. This is obviously in regards to the scattered population within Rwanda. If we are able to obviously solve that issue with the mapping, enabling the maps to show exactly where businesses are based, it could severely impact the business positively by allowing users to see exactly the location of these small businesses. As these are small business stands, these aren't huge areas, so by allowing users to see exactly the location, it could help. Obviously, granted, given the fact that it's Rwanda, the location is probably quite difficult. What we can do nowadays is go ahead and grab the longitude and latitude of the location and use that to find out where the business is based itself. did run into a couple issues myself, so I tried signing up as a seller on his website. I don't have a Rwandan phone number, so obviously I had to use my email. But on signing up, it didn't work multiple times, coming up with error messages, which I'm not too sure of why. As a seller, personally, I'd want an easy sign up, something where I could just simply sign up and go ahead and start posting right away. However, what I did like was on his website, he has the ability to post an ad instantly on the bottom bar. So as a seller, that probably does save a lot of time, effort, and energy. He also allows people to see insights into the website, which is also a pretty good thing because you can see whether certain things are drawing attraction. One thing I did like about the website is when I scrolled down, I did manage to see a section known as how it works. On that, he's created YouTube video demos, quite basic but quite effective at showing how to sign up for the website. What I think he should be doing is displaying that initially for new users to see as soon as they join the website, making it very easy to show them the potential of joining Marketeer, whatever his place is called, mariketa.com, to develop themselves and their businesses as a whole. If he's able to make these simplistic YouTube demo videos showing users how easy it is to use the website, I truly believe he can see it take off.
Okay, so I'm going to be covering competitive analysis. Competitive analysis is the method of analyzing marketing strategies of companies operating in a certain market. So you, John-Claude, you'd want to look at certain companies that are rivaling you. So like small businesses that are online, that are e-commerce businesses. Competitor research can give insight into what other brands in your market segment are doing to acquire and retain customers. I have a 6-step process for you on how to complete competitive analysis. You need to identify your competitors. So any Rwandan e-commerce platforms are your competitors. So you need to keep an eye on what they're doing. Step 2 is to investigate competitors' social media ad strategy. So you need to see whether or not if Rwandan e-commerce platforms are prevalent on Google ads and like Instagram ads and other platforms. Number 3, you need to benchmark competitors' Google ads. You need to see what advertisements they're putting out to everyone, and you need to create your own advertisements to rival them so you can get more customers for your platform. Number 4 is the use of search engine optimization, as Brian covered earlier. So you need to use the tools to track competitors' organic performance. That basically means that you need to be able to use search engine optimization in order to see what your rivals are doing and how they're performing in the market. Number 5 is to evaluate competitors' content marketing. So that means that you need to see how they're marketing their service, and you need to have an answer for it and a response for it. Number 6 is to map out any challenges and opportunities with a SWOT analysis. My colleague Mohammed is going to cover what a SWOT analysis is in a minute. Mohammed, are you there? Oh no.
Don't worry. I think we've, Deborah?
Yeah. No,
I think you've
here.
covered a lot of ground. Yeah. So maybe you just want to conclude it now. There's a lot there.
Okay, no, just do your bit then.
Okay, so just thought I'd introduce myself before. So hello, John-Claude. My name is Noor. I hope you've enjoyed the presentation so far, and our group have given you a new viewpoint in regards to your company. Just before the end of this presentation, I did have a couple questions that I hope you'd be able to answer, if that's okay. Hello.
John-Claude?
Hello.
Hello there.
You can go ahead.
Okay, cool. So the first question is, what exactly inspired you to develop your idea?
Okay, thank you so much. What inspired me to develop the idea of marketer.com was my research that I have done on digital marketing and the e-commerce penetration in Rwanda. And I have seen that the e-commerce is at the typing point in Rwanda because it started booming by the beginning of COVID-19, where the government of Rwanda encouraged the people to participate in digital commerce to allow people to shop online. So, but the idea to start that business started before. When I realized that people, especially those who are in the business, specifically the SMEs, still face the problem of affording the digital or e-commerce platform because they charge more money to be onboarded on the platform. So I had an idea to design an affordable platform that can be used by everyone so that he or she can be able to advertise or post their product and the services there, so that even those smaller or startup business can be able to sell or to advertise their goods and services on an affordable platform like Marketer. Thank you.
Thank you so much for answering that question. I've got another question here for you, and it's, what strategies did you first use to market your business?
The strategy, marketing strategy?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Oh, yeah, as you have seen, the business is still at the beginning. We are still developing a lot of things there. But the strategy that we use is, I can say that is we are still using in-person marketing. We had through the ICT chamber, we have the people called the eye workers. Those eye workers are the people selected by ICT chamber because we are incubated there. We are a member of ICT chamber, the Rwanda ICT chamber. So they have arranged us to give us some people who help us to visit the shop by shop, to tell them how Marketer works, so that they can start participating in the advertising at Marketer. But our marketing strategy will be also to advertise, to start advertising Marketer on the other social media, using Google Ads, as your colleague have said, using other social media like Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, and even Twitter, so that we can reach a lot of number of people. As you have seen, Marketer vision is not to be only a local e-commerce. Our vision is also to go in other African continent where the e-commerce is still at the typing level. So we will need a wide marketing strategy, which not focus only on Rwanda, but also on the entire continent.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I've just got a couple more questions here, which I'll try.
Can you ask one more question? Because I'm aware that we're cracking on. So one more question.
If you want me to move on, I don't mind.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Excellent work. I'll ask. So conclude it with Jean-Claude.
Okay.
So conclude your meeting with Jean-Claude. Say something to him.
Jean-Claude, I'm sorry that my teammates couldn't be here today. I'm not sure why they weren't here because I told everyone yesterday that there'd be a Zoom call today. So I just want to thank you for coming to our presentation, and we look forward to collaborating with you.
Okay, thank you so much. And I would like to suggest to you if you can send your presentation because it is very helpful to us to restructure our marketing strategy. And because the time was somehow short, I didn't catch up everything. So when you send it, I can read it and learn more about your presentation. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Good.
yeah, I will do that. No worries. Thank you.
Do you want to put your email in the chat, Jean-Claude?
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, you can WhatsApp me. It's fine if you want.
Oh, yeah, you're on WhatsApp together, aren't you? So that would be the best way. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay,
good.
thank you, Jean-Claude.
Okay.
Good.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you, Jean-Claude, for joining us and to meet your team. We'll let you go and get some rest, I think. But thank you so much for joining us from America. Whereabouts in America are you right now?
I'm in Arizona.
Okay, right. Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And I'm sure your team will be sending you the video link anyway, the recording of the meeting, and I'm sure they'll send you the presentation through WhatsApp. Okay. Deborah.
No, thank you all for that. And you were able to share some valuable information with your client, and your client has now asked you to send this information on to them. So well done. It was a real pleasure to be able to hear the development of questions. So you know, there was definitely some interaction there going with your colleague. How would you rate your performance, Najib and team?
Well, to be honest, I'm quite disappointed that two of my colleagues weren't here. So I don't know, to be honest. It was all right, but it would have been better if the other two came. But it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah. So what are you going to do next? What's the next piece of action you're going to do with your colleagues and your clients?
I'm going to ask them why they weren't here, first of all, and secondly, I'll help Jean-Claude with Mariquetta a bit more, and we'll start with that 1,600 word thing as well. So
yeah. Okay, good. So there's some learning there. So yeah.
Yeah, good. Excellent.
Learning experience. Yeah.
Yeah. We can all learn out of every experience, and as you say, you know, all for one and one for all. So you do what you need to do with your team who weren't here. But I'm sure Jean-Claude appreciates the work that you've all put in as well. Okay. Good. Do stay, please. We're here together for the next couple of hours. It's a sharing, learning experience for everybody. And remember, this is the first time we've done this as well in this context of this assessment. I would like to now thank you, Najib. You did great, and team. I'd like to now bring to the discussion Evelyn's team. Evelyn's team, are you there?
Hello, yes, we're here.
Huda, hi, meet Evelyn.
Hi, Evelyn, how are you?
I'm good, how are you too?
We talked yesterday. I'm very excited to be working with you. I hope everything's going great.
Great, everything's going well here in Kigali. Have you been there, or you probably plan to travel to Rwanda in the future?
In the future, for sure. It looks like a beautiful country. I haven't been there so far, but I would love to someday.
Great, I'll be happy to meet you just live in Kigali.
Yeah, that would be great. Okay, are all my team members here? I think they're all here, except for Ibrahim, because he's at the hospital. He informed us beforehand, and he'll be emailing you. Okay, so I'll be sharing my screen and starting the presentation, yeah? Okay, can you see the presentation?
Yes, I can see.
Okay. All right, so okay, so when it comes to the politics in Rwanda, women are involved in politics a lot, and 60% of the seats are actually occupied by women in the parliament, which is a very interesting thing when it comes to your NGO, because you can see that, you know, in Rwanda, women have such a big representation and they're very included in the country. And the Forum of Rwandan Women Parliament, you know, they have done some important things, such as initiated labor laws on equal pay, ended gender-based violence, demanded equal rights, and initiated laws that punish gender-based violence and violence against women, which has a lot to do with your NGO, considering, you know, it teaches women about their rights and their sexual reproductive rights and everything that has to do with, you know, basic human rights really that relate to women specifically. And so the tragic 1994 genocide led to a feminist awakening, because the genocide against the Tutsi altered Rwanda's demographic configuration so significantly, and it enhanced women's roles in all spheres of public life. So basically, the majority of the injuries and the fatalities were towards males, and so the genocide's aftermath led to women accounting more than 70% of Rwanda's population, actually. So again, that shows how Rwanda is dominated by lots of women, really, and that relates to your NGO, because again, we're going to have to focus on that target audience, specifically teenage women. And so again, here is the female ratio in Rwanda. I mean, there's 6.58 million females and 6.37 million males. So we need to find a way to target those females, because that's what your NGO targets mainly. And so the economic factors are basically, you know, there has been a lot of economic development in the Rwandan government, and there has been a dramatic fall in poverty from 72% to 55% to 39%. So NGOs specifically, you know, they play a very important role in the economic development. So your NGO someday, you know, with more marketing strategy and marketing plans that we will discuss later on, is that it can eventually lead to economic development in your country, and it will make a difference. So in order to gain economic sustainability, some NGOs through microfinance, they help the communities to reduce poverty, create jobs, promote income generation, and sustainability is linked to, you know, more issues closely to poverty and inequality. And so when it comes to you, you know, there are a lot of inequalities when it comes to women, and we'll work on fixing that, you know, with your NGO and all the help that it will provide to the community. Okay, Ashley, are you here?
Yeah, I'm going to talk about the social factors in Rwanda. Rwanda has a national gender policy, which includes specific policies for women, such as for education, agriculture, and gender-based violence, as well as the sexual and reproductive health. The National Women Council represents women's concern in Rwanda, and it is important in representing women's concern, giving the voice to women and providing opportunities for them for capacity building. And then next slide, please. The millennials. The millennials are those who were born in 1980 and 1994, and they make up the population, the 27% population and in the world, and it makes them one of the most important. They have high expectations for technology and innovation, and their purchases decisions are defined by their values and life priorities. So it is important to consider their needs and their wants. Technological factors. Information and communication technology is a central engine for Rwanda's transformation to a knowledge-based economy. And apart from that, Rwanda promotes Rwanda promotes women leader in the ICT and innovation sector. Yeah.
Okay, so I will be talking about the diaspora, which is Rwandans living abroad specifically. You know, we need to find a way to target the Rwandans living abroad, specifically the ones that are very connected to their countries and are interested to still keep up with all the news and, you know, its country's economy as well. And they can be reached in simple ways, such as Facebook and WhatsApp. You know, these are things that people use a lot in Rwanda, right, Evelyn? Usually people use Facebook and WhatsApp for communication mostly. Okay, so, well, I found the Facebook group such as, and there are many other groups, but this is one of them, such as expats in Rwanda, which is basically, as you can see, it's for Rwandans living abroad, and there's 8.7 thousand members in it. And there are other groups that we can find a way to communicate with them and let them know about your NGO and all the helpful things that your NGO is doing and, you know, its vision. And so I found some competitors as well. And these are examples of some competitors that I found. There's the Rwanda Women's Network, which is also an NGO in Rwanda. You know, you need to always look out for your competitors and be aware of who your competitors are in the market so that you know what they're doing and how that relates to what your next step is. And so there are more examples of competitors as well, such as the Women Cooperative in Rwanda. And they partner with Oxfam and the Catholic Diocese Church. And there are many other examples, but these are some of the most popular ones. And this is the part that Ibrahim was supposed to present, but I'll go ahead. The 5 forces model is basically a model that makes sure, you know, they are tools that you can analyze the competitive nature in your industry. You know, you need to look out for, well, the tools basically are the bargaining power of buyers, which you know, you need to consider the number of customers, the size of each customer order, the price sensitivity, the buyer's information availability, you know, how much information they have on. It's also the bargaining power of suppliers, and you know, it's the number and size of suppliers. You need to again be aware of your competitors as well, and the perceived level of product differentiation. You need to see how different are the other NGO about women than your NGO, and how can you stand out, how can you be different? And we'll obviously look into that furthermore along the process as well. There's also the threat of substitute products. You know, you need to be aware of that as well, and the potential for entry into the industry and the barriers of entry, you know. Yeah, and so this is Sabrine's part. Sabrine, are you there?
Yeah, Huda. Yeah, it's about the segmentation, which is the first and the most important part in marketing strategies. Teenage woman NGO, like any successful business. Sorry, I am a little sick. So there is 4 type segmentation, which identify target groups, maybe in demographic segmentation, which identified customers by their group of age, gender. The second type is psychographic, which focused on personality traits for customers.
Sorry, Sabrina.
Sorry, Huda. Sorry, can you continue, Huda?
Yeah, sure. Okay. So basically, you need to be able to identify basically your target audience. You know, you need to be able to separate them and really, you know, understand their lifestyle, understand who are the types of customers that you receive, which possibly which social class they're from, which gender they are, which obviously they will be women in this case usually, and which age they're from, such as teenage women, you know, and you also need to consider the Rwandans in diaspora. So you need to consider all types of customers that will be that your NGO will be attracting. And because if you know more about your customers, then you will know how to reach them more, and you will find ways to communicate with them more. So that will also lead to better marketing for your NGO. Okay, I think this is Sherry's part.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm Sherry, and I did research on the SWOT analysis of Rwanda and for NGOs concerning Evelyn. So I'll be going over the SWOT analysis. For strengths, I found that Rwanda has cheaper labor costs and a population that is generally productive. Services are in high demand for NGOs. Seeing that Evelyn is an NGO, she'll be able to help a lot of women fight for their rights, such as education, making connections, also providing shelter, soap, and protective equipment, such as PPE, masks, etc. Weaknesses, a greater integration of various strategies to encourage our agriculture is required. I've done research. For example, nitrogen is good to increase plant growth, and perhaps integrating a farm management software. Opportunities, Rwanda has a good policy environment that encourages sustainable farming. Also, Evelyn will be able to allow Rwandans to create connections with the business community via WhatsApp and other social platforms such as Instagram, Facebook, etc. For threats, the pests and bad weather conditions can affect the condition of the crops, therefore affecting agriculture and income for the farmers. And also similar work is done by other and more established NGOs. That's my part done. Yeah. You can continue, Huda. Hello?
Yeah, this is Sarah's part. Sarah, are you there?
Hi, good morning, Evelyn. My name is Sarah, and I'll be speaking about marketing ideas for any organization. So firstly, having marketing ideas for any organization is important, as it helps to get your message reached across to your target audience, for example, young teenage women. So firstly, I'll be speaking about one of the marketing ideas that I found, which is creating a marketing plan. So creating a roadmap where having your long-term objectives and goals and objectives, sorry, this will help you be more confident in your future efforts. So this can be focused on your goals as an NGO. So some of the ways you could use marketing to advance your objective is by creating and publishing content that educates your community and target audience. Also, you can do this by sending weekly newsletters sharing your content and ideas with your target audience, which is young teenage women. Another marketing idea that I found was organizing speaking engagements, where you could have speaking engagements where you can share about your NGO and your organization's goals. So this can give your organization an opportunity to share the message and be posted and discussed in person. So there's many ways you can share your ideas, and that can be done through social media networks. So for example, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, where you can tweet and post your ideas and sharing them online. Lastly was tagging people and organization in posts. So by tagging people and organizations, this ensures that your message reaches a wider audience. And this tends to be useful as a marketing method to broaden your post and publicly expressing your gratitude to people and organizations. By identifying organizations that have a significant audience, this can also gain your access to a large network of people who can influence your work. Thank you.
Thank you. So Evelyn, would it be all right if we ask you some questions? I have some questions for you, please.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, so my first question is, well, I just want to know if there are any ways so far, until now that you have marketed your NGO or your main way of attracting customers. I know we will be working on that and developing that, but are there any specific ways that you have been doing that so far?
Yeah, thank you for the great question. I think one of the marketing strategies that we used from the past, even we are currently using that to market our organization is, first of all, we have been reaching out to different networks that we have with different people and other corporate organizations that we know. And I think so far, given to the work we are probably doing in the community, that system has been really positive. But also we want to increase our actually social media marketing. We try to build a website. We haven't yet probably make it public, but we hope to do that by the end of this month. We are still working on the development and also the draft, but also we have been though we haven't been that really active on Twitter and Facebook, we have been trying that, but also we are looking forward to increase our posts and also movement and engagement on those social medias.
Okay, that's wonderful. That's good to know. Okay, so I have another question for you. So in Rwanda, I mean, is it really common for a woman to be able to, be educated on their sexual reproductive rights, or is that considered, something that they're not that comfortable with? From your experience, do you know if they will be open about discussing that, or how comfortable they are about discussing such a topic?
Yeah, I think they are, and I would say that some actually advocacy and awareness has been done, though they are not 100%. Yes, some organization and institution has been trying to tackle on that, but we still have a large gap on that. But given to probably the progress that has been made and also the target we have, I believe that the community will be open for such community or such target group to share their challenges, speak out to their constraints, and also be able to come any help they need.
Okay, well, that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Evelyn. And it was really nice getting to work with you so far. And I'm looking forward to our future meetings and interactions.
Great. I'll be happy to work together with you too.
Great, very nice presentation. It's good to see the work that you guys have been doing and the engagement you've had with Evelyn before the meeting. Good to see. Always remember to ensure that when you present in terms of SWOT analysis, that it is relevant and contextual back to the implications for Evelyn's NGO as well. But as the more questions you ask, the more insights you get, the more you'll be able to hone in and refine on your ideas. So well done, team. Deborah.
I'm going to reinforce what Daryl said, and what I really valued from that conversation was the nuance that you decided to actually ask your client more questions, which could help you to fill it all out. My suggestion, particularly when you were making recommendations about the various groups that you could, the various social media sites that you could use to communicate your stories was spot on. I think now perhaps what you could do is start to ask Evelyn about some exact stories, exact experiences, and you started to go in that direction anyway. So then you could use these as mini case studies that people could connect to emotionally. So that was the point that I wanted to make to you. But yes, very pleased about the direction that you're heading in, and very pleased to see the interaction that you have with your clients. So well done.
Thank you.
Good. I just another point, I think, coming back to the presentation, you know, remember to try and convert more of those words to simple images. I think that's just an area you can take forward. So instead of all the words, you know, how you would convert those into images to tell the story to Evelyn. And I think, remember, the diaspora is really, reaching out to diaspora is really about, you know, donations and supporters and funders and people that, as Deborah's just said, you need to share those stories with. So there's a clear linkage between storytelling and reaching those target markets who can become more part of supporting Evelyn's great work in Rwanda from the diaspora perspective. Evelyn, how did you feel about your team's presentation?
Yeah, I think our team is really doing an amazing job, and also I would say that I'm very excited to see all the work they have done without even knowing much about our organization. I would say that I'm looking forward to the next session to discuss more about each and every probably recommendation, and also and every part they have included in the marketing strategy, to see how they can be probably like implemented in our organization, and also identify the best approach we can use to make it very effective.
Excellent, good. And I think in the questions you asked, team, you picked up on some of the areas where Evelyn is looking to strengthen her marketing efforts. So well done, well done, well done. Good work, team. Okay, I'm going to come now. Thank you, Evelyn. Thank you, team. Do stay around.
I'm sharing, actually, I'm sharing some of the draft website that we are working on. Maybe it can be also another reference for them, maybe to learn more about our organization.
Oh,
and
yeah,
also
yeah. Well,
yeah.
I think you're in a group. Are you in a WhatsApp group with them? So that might be a good place to share. That's fantastic. Good, good, good. Okay, I'm going to be coming now to whose team should we come to now? I thought I saw him in the room, which was oh dear, is Odilon's team here. Odilon?
Yeah, we're
Jack. Hi. Yeah, yeah,
Hi.
yeah. Over to you, my friend.
Hi, Odilon. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Thank you.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. It's just taking me a second to open up my presentation. Sorry about this.
Yeah.
First time using Zoom.
Odilon, how are you today? We only ever converse on WhatsApp and Twitter.
Yeah. I'm doing great. Everything is fine. You know.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you for joining this morning.
Thank you. It's my pleasure being with you too.
Jack, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm trying to get it to work, doing it through Google Drive, but it's not letting me.
Okay, do you want to put it on your screen and then you can share your screen with us? So is it on? Are you on?
No.
You able to do that?
Yeah. Share screen.
See if that works.
Are working?
Okay, we're seeing something. We're
is it
seeing
sharing?
something. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. It's on your. Okay. Sure.
Is that right?
Daryl, quickly, one of our team members can't access the Zoom. It's not working for her, but she said she's there. So
Okay. Thank you. Well, thank you.
All right, so I think someone in my group wants to start by talking about our marketing ideas for Odilon.
Well, this is your presentation. This is your space with Odilon. Deborah and I are taking a step back. So you take over the floor.
All right, so so I had a few ideas for Odilon, actually, mainly about the way we could package your soap idea and also the way we could distribute it, because these days a lot of people are very they care a lot about the environment. It's also about comfort and simplicity. So we had an idea that you could actually start having a delivery service for you, your own company, to some extent, where people that are very interested in your product or they want it on a monthly basis, they can pay something of a subscription fee, where, for example, they would pay I'd say £30 or probably less for a month, 2 months, 3 months. We could make a deal where every month it would just be delivered on their doorstep. They could pick how many products they want, what different flavors, smells, fragrances, or all of that stuff, and it would make it a lot smoother for them and a better experience for the customer. Another idea we had was a coffee soap, which, when looking into the market, you can see there's not really many of them, but we think it could really be popular for your brand, seeing as it's sourced very, very nearby, and an idea of it being natural and helping the local community would go a long way, we think. I actually had a question for you. I was wondering how you were planning to distribute this product if we weren't going to do a subscription sort of process.
Thank you. If I got you were you asking me about how we do deliver or how we supply our product to our clients, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, thank you. This is we do have people in charge of doing deliveries. You know, we have we are using because we are making a liquid soap, and we are having some people using bikes, bicycles to deliver to our clients, but we also sometimes rent a car because we have like partners who are regular customers to our product, and they sometimes need a lot of quantity, so we sometimes rent a car to deliver to them our product. So when we want to deliver a lot of quantity, we usually places we are using bikes.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, yes, go ahead.
would you ever think about starting a system where you could put your product in, like you could send it somewhere, or you could post it so you'd be able to get it global, or you'd be able to get it to other countries or places? Would you ever think about doing that?
Actually, we are not yet on that level, but it's what we are thinking of. And when we think about that, we also want to see on the quality of the product. So to be on the standard to be sent, or maybe outside or abroad, because currently we are not even selling our product all over the country. We are just running in a few districts, one which we are based in, and also other 3 nearby districts. So we have not yet started thinking about that in a practical way, but it is our mission. We want to be of that industry which can even send the product abroad.
Okay, I completely understand. Thank you for answering my question. I just have one more. I was wondering, when it comes to the smell, the flavors of the soap, like, do you plan on having a large variety? Like, do you want a lot of different ones? Because when I looked online, I could see that Rwanda have so many different, like, fruits, smells. So I was wondering if you're thinking about having a large variety of different flavors.
Yeah, we also work on that, but like what we do, we answer with the community needs. So we received a couple of recommendations about that, and we are trying to adjust to what the community needs. Also, not forgetting about flavors and new or upgraded products.
Okay, of course. I was wondering, Odilon, do you have any questions for us?
No, sure. What I can say is that, can I answer? Can I ask question maybe after this presentation? Because
yes, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, no worries, Odilon. We plan to send you our presentation in case you want to have a second look over it. Of course, but that's everything for me, unless someone else would like to say something.
Thank you for watching our presentation, and we're gonna send you it via WhatsApp, so you can look further into it and ask any inquiries that you have.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Odilon, for listening to us. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Okay, is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. Short and sweet. Was all your team here?
Everyone other than Leon, and Nazria couldn't access the thing. She tried using the link,
and she tried emailing you as well.
Yeah, she's emailed you as well. She's emailed you about it anyway. Every time she tried to use the link, it didn't let her in.
But we're all here, so it must be a technical glitch somewhere along the line. It's beyond our control, because the majority of us are here. So sorry about that. Okay. I'd like to have known a bit more about the context. I know it was there in the presentation, but you decided to go straight to the recommendation. I think, have you had much conversation with Odilon before today's meeting?
We've had one conversation, but not such a big one. No.
We approached, but we understand that the client was quite busy.
Okay. So, think about the questions you still need answers to. In terms of, I think it'd be very useful for him to send you send you some photographs of the type of places where he sells the products, because we have our UK perspective of what a shop looks like. But I think it might be useful for you to just get him to show you what the distribution sense is like, okay, in terms of the environment and where the products are, what the product is, a picture of the product and what it is, how it's packaged, and where it is in the store. I just think they'll give you a better context of the environment you're working with, okay? And the way in which people are buying these types of products as well. Remember, your objective is to help him look for new ideas and broaden his scope, as well as build upon what he's doing right now. So I hope you listen to where the business is right now and where you feel you could be taking it in the future. Deborah?
Hello. I would really agree with Daryl about you need more depth with your questioning. What I'm really curious about is I'm really interested if you could take a bit more time to find out exactly what is important to that customer. And I think you need to do some more work around that.
Yep, agreed. Okay, thanks guys. Thanks Odilon for being with us this morning, and more work, more conversations need to be had for sure. Okay, let's move on to Leopold's group. Who's there from Leopold's group? Must be somebody here from Leopold's group. Leopold's group.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Daryl.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. You?
Good. For sure. Okay. So are you going to, can I leave the floor to you now with Leopold?
1 second. There's more of us.
Hi, my name's Ladin. Nice to meet you, Leopold.
Leopold, good morning.
Good morning. I am there.
Yeah, good. Over to you guys.
Everyone see my screen?
Yep.
Right, so hi Leopold. I remember we spoke a few days ago. I'm Stefan. And now we're going to be presenting different ideas and what we can do for your business. So whoever's doing this slide, can you?
Oh yeah, okay, I'll do this last time. Okay, so in the following presentation, we'll be covering market environment, competition, some SWOT analysis, target markets, and marketing ideas.
For this one, I spoke about political factors, economic and social and technological, how it can affect the project. So political factors are government subsidies, such as if the government was to increase the cost to an extent where the farmers are unable to pay due to import tax, etc., then it would lead for the farmers to stop producing their products. And I also spoke about trade control or barriers could affect the project due to the fact that you could have limited choice of products, leading customers to pay higher prices. And I also spoke about language affecting it. As for a small business in Rwanda, you have to be aware that not everyone speaks English or French. And you have to advertise your products in a way that it would reach a high range of customers. And I also spoke about machinery and chemicals. So most farmers may not know how to use the modern technology. Therefore, without a suitable training on how to use the machineries, they could be slowing down the production process. Plus, you have to think about using the chemicals on your land, because if you overuse it, it can reduce the fertility of the land.
Hi, my name is Adari. Today I'm going to speak about a competition about mushrooms. Okay. Basically, mushrooms grown on a waste material from coffee to production. And thanks to the project, coffee producers can enjoy a year-round income, and not just during the coffee cherry harvest. And from coffee to pillow, sorry. So basically, Ziliba Nayarbigo has just realized her dream, okay? And she made from enable a Rwandan coffee producer to receive a stable income by recuperating the tons of waste of material generating. So they're making from oyster polluters, oyster mushrooms to coffee. And sorry, 1 second. So yeah, it was that she set about finalizing the last stage of her startup. So which has its ambition to revenue to cultivate of mushrooms. So they make mushrooms, they making from mushrooms to coffee, and not all of the mushrooms they can make it from coffee. There's certain of mushrooms they're making it to coffee, okay. And the competition about there was that the loans of 18,000 euros awarded by investors brought by Takeda, okay, and who has worked in the food industry to multinational companies.
Hi, my name is Lardin, and I'm going to be talking about the SWOT analysis. So for the strengths, due to the fact that there are only 32 mushroom companies in Rwanda, there will be little competition, which will basically help the company gain support from the community and also grow. A weakness, however, is due to the idea of building the community by creating a mushroom company, it can be copied, copied by other by other people. So that basically means if the company isn't unique enough or isn't like I don't know how to say, isn't like able to adapt, then it can be copied and it can be replaced quite easily. An opportunity is by creating a global mushroom business and being the only business from Rwanda to operate it, a monopoly can be formed within the mushroom community. So by growing the business and by growing the business enough, it can help the company basically expand and like create other opportunities, like for example, exporting to other countries and to other places, not just in Rwanda. A threat, however, is if the company is unable to keep up with the changing economy and environment, for example, like last year's pandemic from COVID-19, businesses will struggle to survive. So an example was 80% of firms went out of business due to the pandemic in Rwanda. So it needs to be able to adapt, and it needs to be able to really quickly understand the situation and be able to overcome certain situations. Thank you.
Okay, so target marketing. This is like the STP model, so segmentation, targeting, and positioning. This model basically just focuses on commercial effectiveness. So that's basically just selecting the most valuable segments for a business and then developing a marketing mix and product positioning strategy for each segment. So let's start off with segmenting your market first. So that's just basically so that's when you divide your customers into groups of people with common characteristics and needs. So that just allows you to tailor your approach to meet each group's needs cost effectively. And also it just gives you like a big advantage over competitors. So we've got different ways to segment obviously the target market. So we've got demographic, geographic, psychographic, and behavioral. So demographic is just basically personal attributes such as age. So that's what you have to pay attention to. So age, also gender, ethnicity, sexuality, maybe education as well. Geographic, we have to look at see if the customers are local, if they live nearby, or possibly in the neighborhood. Psychographic is just look at their personality, values, or lifestyle. Maybe they're vegan, or they like to have a high protein diet. And then behavioral, that's just look at how people use the product and how loyal they are as well. Next one is obviously targeting. So that's when you have to decide which segments to target by finding the most attractive ones. So there's quite a lot of factors to consider here. So first you have to look at the profitability of each segment. So kind of have a look at which customer groups contribute the most to your bottom line. And then after that, you just have to analyze the size and potential growth of each customer group. So you have to bear in mind, so is it large enough to be worth addressing? Is steady growth possible? So is it going to just keep growing steadily, or is it just going to start kind of going downwards at some point? And how does that compare with other segments? And finally, positioning it's positioning. So this is basically the last step. So here you want to identify how you want to position your product to target the most valuable customer segments. And then after that, you can also select the marketing mix that will be kind of most effective for each of them. First, you would want to consider why customers should purchase your product rather than going for someone else, or obviously your competitors. This is obviously done. You can do this by identifying your unique selling proposition and then draw a positioning map to understand kind of how each segment perceives your product, brand, or service. This will obviously help you determine how best to position your offering. So kind of to conclude this, as we can see at the bottom, I'll just put some benefits of eating mushrooms on there. So in conclusion, obviously the target market for mushrooms would be both adults and young adults, because as we can see, so the benefits of mushrooms are help to fight cancer, good for your heart and bones, aids in weight loss, and improves body immunity. So this could be targeted at anyone in general. It wouldn't just be anything in specific, for example, kids only or adults. It could literally just be targeted at anyone. And yeah, that's it.
So different marketing ideas that we thought about is probably giving out some free samples of mushrooms. That would be good because, as Leopold said, a lot of people think that mushrooms are sort of a luxury item and are being sold in and eaten in restaurants and hotels. So if free samples are given out, that will sort of change everyone's mind. Can also do a mushroom paste So I've tried looking up mushroom paste in Rwanda and I couldn't find any. And this could be Leopold's USP. We could also focus on health benefits and nutritional values. So from the other slide, it helps to fight cancer, it's good for your heart and bones, and improves body immunity. If we create a video, sort of like an advert, we could put a time lapse of a mushroom growing. And we could do a potential collaboration with egg farmers. So for example, that could be someone's breakfast. So we could put an egg and like a few mushrooms in like a little box and then sell it as that. And then both entrepreneurs would get profit from selling the breakfast set. And if we create like a sort of poster, we could use the slogan "More room for mushrooms," and that's quite catchy and it's easy to remember, and that would attract a lot of customers. Furthermore, I was thinking of potentially making a social media for Odilon on Facebook and potentially selling his mushrooms on Facebook Marketplace as well. And that's where he can tell the story and a lot of people would find out more about it. And also one last thing, we could create sort of like a loyalty club. So it could be literally called the Mushroom Club. And so, for example, for every 5 boxes that you buy, you can get a box for free. So yeah, that's our presentation. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Rad. Do you have any questions for your client?
Not really, because I've already asked quite a few questions.
Okay.
What's that?
Okay, Leopold.
Yes,
Hi.
please.
Did you listen to your consultants there? What did they? I know one of the things that you said in your video was trying to encourage home eating of mushrooms. How do you feel that your team is coming along?
They did a great job, and I've got new ideas here, like giving away free samples. But so which is new, it is collaborating with the egg farmers. I didn't know that could help my farm, but I will look into it. And what else I got, it is keeping an eye to my competitors, seeing what they are doing and seeing what I can learn from them. But they did a great job, and I wish I could get access to this wonderful presentation. Thank you.
Oh, you will. Do not worry. I'm sure Vlad will send it to you. How do you feel it went, guys, your presentation? Having that feedback from your client?
It went well.
Okay. How do you feel about what your client has said to you just now?
We'll send him the presentation and like
talk to him then. Talk to him then. Don't talk to me. Talk to him.
So we'll send you the presentation, Leopold, and then if we need to contact you more, then obviously we can use WhatsApp. If we come up with new ideas, we'll tell you.
Keep having those conversations, guys, because that's what's going to help, that mutual exchange of ideas and what direction Leopold would like to go in. I like the idea of the sampling when somebody doesn't know the product, or showing them making something. making something in the villages with the product and filming it, you know, so you can show how mushrooms can be used as a nutritious meal in the home. Would be interesting. And he liked your idea of the collaboration between the eggs and the mushrooms. You might want to think about, you might want to talk to Jerome's team, Jerome the egg farmer, who's unfortunately not able to be here this morning. He is in at the hospital, but you may be able to see some cross collaboration opportunities between an egg farmer and a mushroom producer. And one thing I want to give feedback on, because I know Deborah's probably got some feedback as well, is you know, when you're presenting, remember you're there to give the recommendations. So don't go so heavy. You guys need to use the theory in order to propose the recommendations. And I would encourage you to be now working a lot more closely on segmenting the market and showing Leopold who these types of customers are. And again, I think you may need to have some conversations with him to get a better understanding of the potential consumers and their backgrounds. Even if you were to see some images, some pictures of these types of consumers, that's going to give you a deeper understanding of their lifestyle and their background. Deborah?
Yes, I would totally want to again reinforce what Daryl has said. At the heart of this work is we must have clear pictures of who the target customer is. Once you and so I would ask everyone on this call to ask your clients for photographs of your typical or their typical customer. Once you have done that, once you have that photograph, I would ask you to have a chat with your client about what does that customer want? What is their desire? What is their aspiration? Once you've done that, the next question to ask and to get answers to is, what is stopping them from getting what they desire, what they want? And once you do that, then you have customers giving you what we call customer insight, and then you can create messages which communicate how your entrepreneur answers those questions, how they provide whatever they provide in a way which solves the customer's problem. That's the lasting that's going to be the consistent message that you're going to hear from me. Identify an exact customer, get photographs, you know, and ask your client to get images, photographs of them using that product or service. Then also find out exactly what do they want, what do they desire, what are their aspirations from using that product or service, and then finally, what is stopping them from achieving their aspirations, goals, what roadblocks, what issues, what challenges, and then finally, how does your client's offering help them go beyond that issue, challenge, or problem? Then you've got the basis of creating a very clear message, which you can then use in your social media, which you can use in your whatever ways that you will recommend to your clients. So that's the lasting message that I would like to leave you with. Do those 4 points. Understand your customer, get a photograph, find out what do they want, their desire, their aspiration, find out what's getting in the way, the challenge, the issue, the problem, and then finally point out how does your company, your clients answer those problems, then you've got the basis of creating some very clear messaging that makes sense to the target customer.
Excellent. Excellent advice. I hope you were writing that down. And I think that applies to all of you, really. I think one of the big issues always is, the focus on the customer, understanding who the customer is, and then going really deep into that. So I think, focus more on the application of the theory, and demonstrate to your client the value that you can provide to him or to her in terms of implementation. Before we go on to the next step, just Deborah and I were just saying to each other off air, we're very pleased with all of the work that you're doing. You should see this as an achievement today. I imagine for many of you, this is the first time you've been in an environment like this. And we understand that you're not marketing students, you came here to do HRM or economics. So we're very proud of the work that you're doing and achieving for your clients, and how you've embraced this opportunity, this authentic experience, to really take it beyond just an assessment, but actually to bring it to life and to understand the implications of your work on people 6,000 miles away. So well done on that. Deborah, do you want to add anything before we come to the next group?
No. I mean, Daryl has said it, and he said it really well for me. It is an absolute delight to see you all grow and flourish, and it's an absolute delight to see you really in this very powerful position when you're helping people so far away to no longer think that they have an issue. You're really helping them to go beyond the struggle of marketing, etc. And you're really, I think you're getting a real deeper understanding of how your own subjects, the HRM and economics, are really glued together by understanding how businesses work. So I think this is really great. I love the fact that you're really helping your clients to go beyond the idea that they're struggling with their marketing, and you're giving them a real direction. So thank you very much for going beyond the idea of a problem and to really, be sitting in this space of solution finding. It's absolutely exciting and delightful to watch your development at this early stage.
It's absolutely exciting and wonderful to see it, and it's transformative. So really, again, what we said last week, remember about social media, telling your story. There are some things that you probably want to keep to yourself, but just to reflect on after this session. And that's good to reflect and think about, oh, well, yeah, reflect on the good stuff, think about how this was a really great achievement and what's come out of it for you and how it's going to help you move forwards as in your student career. Now, I'm aware that 3 of our clients were not able to be with us this morning, Robert and Rafiki and Jerome, but that shouldn't stop you from presenting. We know them very well. So, and this sometimes happens in life, but I want you to imagine they're there because they're going to see the presentation afterwards and watch the video afterwards. So can I call on Jerome's team to make their presentation now? Roxana, good morning.
Hello everyone. How are you,
Hi.
Daryl?
Very well. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay, Jerome sends his apologies. He's at hospital, so these things happen, obviously, with students and with clients. This is the way of the world. But please, we'd love to see the work that you are presenting to him. Imagine that he's here, and then for when you present, imagine that he's in the room, because I know he'll be looking forward to seeing it afterwards.
Just 1 second, because I have to...
Yeah. And thank you, Odilon and Leopold, who are still with us.
I think I have to reopen the Zoom because it won't let me share the screen.
Oh, that's...
I'm coming into seconds.
All right, go away and come back, please. But thank you, Odilon and Leopold, I think, are still with us. Please stay if you can. It's always good to learn and listen to others. Thank you, Odilon and Leopold. But if you have things to do, we completely understand. Thank you also to Evelyn, who was here and has now gone into an emergency meeting, and to Jean-Claude, who's probably sleeping by now in Arizona.
Yes. I'm just imagining him sleeping in Arizona. Yeah. So that was the image that I got very clearly with that.
All right, so I'm back.
Okay, lovely to have you back. Please take the floor.
Yeah.
So first, I want to say to Jerome that we are so sorry that he couldn't make it today, and we wish for him to get well as soon as possible. And yeah, we'll present this for you, Jerome. And if you have any questions or anything we can just add or adjust, feel free to contact us. Now I will invite my colleague Vic to talk about the economic factors.
Okay, so I'm going to start with the economic facts. Excuse me. I'm going to...
It happens.
I'm going to say the economic factors of Rwanda. So most of Rwanda's economy is based on agriculture and tourism, while in the pandemic, these sectors have been seriously affected, reducing Rwanda's GDP from 9.4%.
Okay, do you want
I'm so sorry about
do you want to mute yourself and collect your thoughts? Maybe we'll come back to
yes,
you.
please.
Yeah. Roxana?
All right, so we all know that Rwanda has a few deposits of gold, tin ore, tungsten ore, and methane. However, the government has not invested a lot in their exploitation, since they required a lot of investment and foreign partnership for the minerals. We also know that the rise of Rwanda's economy is gradually getting investors' attention. According to the World Bank, is it now easier, faster, and less expensive to operate a business in Rwanda than in most of other countries. I'm not sure who was supposed to talk about it. So it's Kay. Yeah.
Hello. So the Rwanda socio-demographic is as you can see, it's mostly younger ages, which is also similar to the business market.
Hello? Am I off the screen? Like we lost somebody.
I think we have lost them.
Okay. Please continue.
Okay, now I'll be speaking about technological information about Rwanda. So Rwanda has completed a nationwide fiber optic cable network, and the SEACOM undersea cable links the east coast of Africa to the rest of the world. Also, Rwanda is quite modern when it comes to technology. It has an internet access to a wider range of broadband services, replacing expensive and slower satellite connections. However, not so many people can afford it. Also, mobile phones are used to keep track of pregnant women and send emergency alerts. Rwanda has an information check system called TrackNet that collects and manages patient information and the distribution of HIV and AIDS drugs.
The strengths of the business would be that the eggs are already a really affordable price, as Jerome has mentioned a lot. So there is a better competition, since the other competitors will most likely have higher prices. He's also very passionate about his business, cares a lot about the community, And the eggs is a very necessity, so it's quite used by everyone, as has protein, and then it has a strong customer base as there is demand for more supply. Other strengths are that his financial ability, owning chicken coops, so he already has one. He has enough land and materials, high level of production of eggs, enough time to care for the chickens. So we're just gonna go more into that.
Now I'll be so sorry about earlier, but I'll be continuing about the weaknesses for Jerome's business. One of them is poor marketing strategies, few skills about rearing hens, lack of medicine for their hens, and unclean chicken coop. I'll also be talking about the threats in general. As there is a supply demand that's not being met, customers may go to other competition in the business. This may lead to losing customers' loyalty. One problem facing the agricultural industry is that there is a limited funding by the government and private sectors to agriculture sector. Moreover, this sector is challenged by land constraints due to population pressure, poor water management, small average land holdings, etc. Climate change would also have an effect on the chicken feed as it will slow down the growth of the crops. These are some of the threats for Jerome's business: is unexpected events, high cost of food for the feeding the chickens, diseases which attack chickens, and slow productions of eggs.
All right, so I'm gonna talk about the opportunities. Rwanda continues to be an attractive location for foreign investment. It has been ranked as the third country in Africa with an ease of doing business. And most of the country's economy is based on agriculture and tourism, but other sectors like manufacturing, energy, or real estate are constantly growing. Now I'm gonna talk about some opportunities for Jerome's business. As we all know, in a country that most of the jobs are based in the agriculture sector, it's quite hard to become outstanding when many other people are doing the same business, but it's not impossible. And here I can suggest some opportunities for Jerome's business. He can get some support from government, as many other farmers can do. I was thinking he can create an option for a plan because Jerome has a problem with supply and demand. Basically, he has too many customers and not enough products. So maybe if he organizes a bit, he will manage this problem better. He can promote the freshness of his food. Also, I was thinking maybe he can add something different, for example, some recipes in the package to show the customers another way to use the products. He also can promote the health benefits of his product and to attract investors, because I think Jerome needs more chickens. I was thinking maybe he can record the video of him showing the manufacturing process, and also he can tell his story about the products.
Morning, everyone. So I'll be talking about customer target segments. And when talking about customer target segments, there are four main types of customer target segments, which is demographic segments, psychographic, behavioral, and geographical. So the customer base is large, but most likely it will be quite local as well. And targeting those cost-effective audience due to the low price. Demographic segmentation, it's based on a gender, whether the customers are male or female, and when it's on income, whether the customers are rich people, the middle class income people, or below that. And the next is it's based on the location as well. So Rwanda's population is on the young spectrum, most consisting of 15 years old and younger than that. Next slide, please. So the next is it's a psychographic focus. It's a focus on values of the customer, attitudes, motivations, priorities, whether customer which products they prefer to buy, and their lifestyles, their beliefs. So it's considered that moving to a more developed and advancing society consisted of more young people would mean that the customers are looking for more deeply into the values a company or a certain brands can offer, and the attitudes it shows is providing a better service or quality of the product, in this sense, the eggs. The next is behavioral focus. It focuses on purchasing habits, spending habits, user status, brand interactions. By brand interactions, we mean that, for example, the Facebook like button or Messenger app, the sounds of the Skype, Samsung, and etc. Apple packaging, and these all comes under the brand interactions. So the next is geographical. It consists of the business zip code and the country, the city, the climate, urban or rural. And that's all from me. And the moment, and my colleague Dima will take it from here. Thank you.
Now we're on the diaspora. For many years, Rwandans have been migrating into different parts of the world for socioeconomic reasons. As a result, Rwanda has an important diaspora community in various countries across the world, with major concentrations in Western and Central Europe and North America. Since 1994, genocide and Rwandans have been engaged in reconciliation process, but it has not come without challenges. Rwanda has a large migrant and diaspora community. Rwanda has a considerable number of these, with perhaps 500,000 people living abroad as voluntary migrants or refugees. Reliable statistics are extremely difficult to come by. Oh yeah, next. Now those are our current marketing ideas for Jerome's business. One of them is expanding your business step by step, family-friendly packaging, recyclable packaging, a logo or a slogan or both, flyers, and the last one would be a video on out about the story of Jerome's farm and how investments will help his business.
All right, so now we have some questions for Jerome, but luckily he already answered them. So Daryl, Deborah, if you want, I can show you the answers as well. What?
Well, I think it's important that you incorporate the answers into your planning. But yeah, do show the answers.
Yeah, I mean, we already did. We already used the strengths and weaknesses from Jerome's response.
Okay.
Can you see?
Yeah, good.
All right.
Yeah.
We used these strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats.
Yeah.
That's why we had normal threats, and after that, threats for Jerome's business. So first question that we asked was, how many egg farmers are in your area? And he said, in my area, based on village, there are at least 6 egg farmers, which is quite a lot competition, but we'll figure it out. Second question, I asked him, what is your target audience? And he said that his target audience are 2 boarding schools, staff members and students at visiting day, alimentation business in Nyanza city, and people in community. So he has quite a lot customers. And 3, I asked him, which things would you like to improve about your business? And he told me he would like to improve the number of chickens, skills about rearing chicken, and owning his own chicken coop, because he used a rented one. And after that, I asked him about the competitors, and he sent me this with strengths, weaknesses. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
At 5, we have how many customers do you have daily, weekly? And he told me he has 4 customers per day. And he's selling around 200 eggs in 1 week.
Okay.
6th question is, have you considered to expand your business step by step? He said that he wants to expand the business by increasing the number of the chickens, and if his financial ability will be available, and he wants to get a chicken coop.
Okay.
7th question is, what is your opinion about some marketing ideas? For example, a catchy slogan that can hook people to your business, or a logo, something that make your business stand out. And he said that in his opinion, marketing is essential in a business, which is true.
WhatsApp.
Yeah, he's posting eggs on WhatsApp group. I mean, he already, I think, has a community with his customers where they talk and see if he can provide the eggs. And the last question is, how many chicken do you own at the moment? And he told me that he owns 100 chickens, which produce at least 80 eggs per day.
Okay. All right. So 800 eggs a day times 7. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And here.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
So this was our presentation, and thank you very much for listening us.
Well, thank you, and I'm sure that Jerome will appreciate that as well. Because Deborah has a class at 1 on campus, she's had to leave us as well now, but we will continue. I think Jerome will appreciate your work so far. I'd like you to think about how you ensure that the factors in the environment that you consider are relevant to Jerome's small micro egg business. So how, for example, can technology play a role, not at a macro level? He's not a big farmer, but how does technology play a role in what are the factors in the technological environment that Jerome needs to be aware of that can help him move his business forward? So as you say, people are quite comfortable now with WhatsApp and social media in Rwanda, but is there anything else that he could do in the technological space that would help him? Just as examples, I think, again, some of the comments which I've made before, which is when you talk about segmentation, have a real deep understanding of the Rwanda context, and then out of that, as you've identified, Roxana, in the questions he's given you back, there are some answers about segmentation and his target markets. And then you can think about, okay, so if that is people in the community, but what people? You need to, what do you mean by people? Show me who these people are. Well, yeah, how old are they? Are they mums? Are they parents? Who are these people?
Yeah, but sorry, Daryl, but I think this is quite general, because this is a necessity and everyone is eating eggs.
Well, yes, but I think this isn't a criticism, by the way. It's just encouraging him to think deeper about his consumer. This is an issue. One of the areas where we know there is a gap in understanding and knowledge and capability in Rwanda is in the marketing area. So you can help him shine a light on this. So when you talk about segmentation issues, all of you can show them a new way of looking at it. So remember, I have put up on the blackboard now for all of you these customer avatars, these profile pages, even if we were to get a sense of who this consumer is in the community. So we understand who she is, what she does, what her concerns are in her day-to-day life. Does she have children? Does he have children? Are they parents? Whoever they are. So I think the deeper you go into understanding the customer, the better. But that's for everyone. All right, that's some good work that needs to be done in Rwanda anyway. Okay, keep asking, keep asking, keep asking. This is not just aimed at you, your team, Roxana. This is a general issue about the fact that Rwanda is very product-led. I sell a mushroom, I sell an egg, I sell this. So it's just helping them see another way in, because as you say, there are 6 egg farmers in the vicinity of the village. I don't know how many people live in the village. How big is the village? You know, I get them to describe it to you, because if it's a very small village, that's a lot of competition. And then how does he start to differentiate himself? And the word village might mean something to what we understand a village to be. So always seek clarity and understanding. Okay. I also think, you know, now's the time for, again, a general feedback for all teams to start bringing your ideas together as a team. That's an important issue going forwards. And do always watch out for my my announcements in terms of the requirement for this particular session. Good work, guys. Is there anything else you'd like to say to Jerome, who's not here?
I don't really think so. Just get better, Jerome, and we are very happy to work with you.
Great. Good work. Good work. Good work. We will pass on those best wishes to him very shortly. Thank you so much for the efforts again, guys, on what you're doing. Given that you didn't know about this world 6 weeks ago, you know, you've come a very long way. So very well done. Okay, we have, I think, 2 more groups left. Oh, it's good to see Leopold and Odilon still with us. Good for you to still be with us, guys. Ryan.
Hi, how is everyone?
Good. Now,
can you hear me perfectly?
Yeah, perfectly. Now,
Yeah,
Rafiki cannot be with us because he's currently on the farm producing wine, as you know, and he had a surprise visit, he tells me, from district officials this morning. So when the politicians turn up and they need to see the wine plant, you better show them the wine plant. So I'm going to lead this floor over to you. And you can imagine that Rafiki is in the room, because I know he will be listening to this presentation when he can. Over to you, Ryan.
Thank you. So we are Market Now. So that is our consultancy name. So for this meeting, obviously, it's a midway progress meeting for developing a marketing plan for Rafiki, GBP Africa. So we're still collecting research more in depth to develop our marketing plan. And we're still waiting on Rafiki to give back some of our questions, which will go more in towards our research. For the purpose of this meeting, we'll mainly be going over what we've done so far, like an update, but we will also be going into some of what we found, some of the research we have. Moving on. So marketing environment. So from some research, we've done a pest analysis. This is obviously what we're going to be covering is very brief. Hello. Anyway, but we'll be going over the pests. So some of the political factors is obviously the administrative division. So within government, so with our client, obviously there's funding for young entrepreneurs. So obviously there's a lot of government schemes around funding and obviously investment, which can help our client. But then there's obviously other factors like economic factors such as inflation, which in 2020 was previously around 7%, which is now 2.5%, which is good, but it's predicted and projected to slowly be creeping back up. And obviously with a high inflation rate, it's less likely for investors, which is, I'm quickly going ahead, which is one of our target markets. We're going to be targeting towards investors. And so obviously a high inflation rate means that investors are less likely to invest into GBP Africa. With the social factors, obviously there is unemployment and education. So unemployment is slightly higher, which isn't the best, but then there's also education factors like level of education. Obviously moving on to technology, we have a thing around electricity. So where the area where GBP Africa is operating is obviously over the whole of Africa. Not all of Africa has access to electricity, which is access to immediate data, which is access to immediate access. And a lot of what our client provides, GBP Africa, is online on a digital platform through their website. So a lot of their information is on there too. So obviously with them factors in mind, it means that there's obviously an issue around getting to every single person in the target market. Moving on to competition, which Asaf Khan will be presenting. Asaf, are you in here?
Is he there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Good.
So we done some research into our competitors, and we found that there's quite a few rivals in terms of grants and funds for small businesses. However, these rivals, they aren't well established, and we found that marketing is their main weakness. So we said we could take advantage of the rivals' weaknesses and market the business effectively to get it out to a target market, which is young entrepreneurs. So we will use networking platforms such as LinkedIn. And also, the rivals don't focus on the individual entrepreneur as much as Rafiki's business does. So this is a strength we could build on and make sure that we target our market effectively.
Yeah, with competition, obviously, with GBP Africa, obviously GBP Africa is providing services to link investors and students and graduates together. And with this in mind, having a direct competitor is hard. We have found some, but generally we've found there's more of these social networking platforms such as LinkedIn, which is a good example, who are obviously networking people, networking businesses, networking students and all that together. That can be somewhat of a rival towards GBP Africa, and then providing their services with linking these target markets. Moving on to Swot, which will be presented by Mohammed Hussein, if he's here. I can't actually see who's in here at the moment.
Oh, okay. What can I?
Mohammed?
Is he here? Is Mohammed here?
He's having some issues joining, I think.
Oh, okay. There are some technical issues, as always, that happens.
Anyway, so moving on with strengths, obviously, from what we've researched and what we've analyzed, we've found that a strength is really the establishment. So GBP Africa's, I would say, is fairly established. So they have a mission, they have a vision. They obviously have the statements for that, which shows us that they know what they are envisioning to do and they know where they want to go, which we consider a strength. On the other side, we have weaknesses. So from what we've outlined from their website and their obviously social media presence, there's a lot of digital marketing presence that is not the strongest. We have obviously on their website, we have wrong redirected links, which is not good for if customers or investors to go look for their social media or try to find where they are online. It's really not that easy to find them. There's obviously a poor structure on their website and also poor imagery. So when we were going through the website, we found there's a lot of areas which can be improved. And obviously we have that in some of our marketing suggestions. With opportunities, we were looking at more of expanding on their social media presence through increasing their digital design, so creating more material. And obviously expanding on their structure on their platforms and websites. We were thinking that we also could really develop a digital marketing campaign. So on the social media platforms, having a digital marketing campaign structured towards these investors, because global investors, global investment is a thing that really GBP Africa can get. With threats, obviously going back towards competitors, we have platforms such like these social networking platforms that really, if they was to go to more towards into GBP's niche area, with what of some of their services they're providing with linking students and graduates, we found that this could be a vital threat with them taking away, because they already have an existing platform with a lot of people already on it. So it really could just take over GBP Africa. Moving on to target markets with Mohammed Houi. There we go. Is he in here? Mohammed? Okay, I don't know if he's in here. Anyway, so with target markets, we've identified that obviously from looking on the website for GBP Africa, so we're targeting towards students, graduates, investors. Specifically, it would mean investors. Oh, okay, I just got a message now. Mohammed is finding it hard to join. Apparently got kicked out or something. He can't get back in. But anyway, so with investors, we mainly want to be targeting towards these investors to give us the funding, so then we can connect students and graduate students to investors much together. Moving on to marketing ideas. Yeah, again, we have another member who's not here. So when we're looking at marketing ideas, we're looking at what we can actually do and what we've already outlined. So as Rafiki, our client, has previously said in their introduction video, they have issues with knowing how to market, what to market, and what to actually put on their platforms. And we've seen this through their website, as I've already mentioned. So we're thinking more of a redesign, a rebranding of GBP Africa, a rebranding of their model specifically on their website, and maybe towards more of their social media platforms. As I previously discussed with Daryl and other ideas we've got, we are thinking of providing more of a customer feedback or customer profile on these social media platforms. So maybe like a statement or quote, which we think can really help boost engagement to the right investors, the right people. I think that's it. Moving on to references. Does anyone have any questions or like suggestions that you could really provide to us?
Good work, guys. Anybody got any questions? I have some thoughts, which what I like about this presentation is it stimulates ideas.
I would really appreciate if anyone here could really just hone in to this. So with like our marketing ideas right now, we're mainly thinking of like the social media presence, the digital presence, because our client is they're not really on the WhatsApp level, they're slightly higher than that now, and they're looking towards more investors. So does anyone have any ideas on how we can market towards these people more?
Can you hear me, Ryan?
Yeah, I think I can hear.
I was just wondering, as a thought comes to me about this, is that you've got different investors who maybe are interested in investing in different things. So some might be interested in investing in young tech innovators. Some might be interested in investing in young agricultural processors or farmers. Some might be interested in investing in young fashion designers. I was just wondering if you felt that that was a way to segment the investment market and then to identify those, where those people are, where those investors of those interests might be.
Yeah, as I said before at the start, we're still doing a lot of research into all the areas, and obviously with investment, we have outlined some like more specific investments for segmenting it. But yeah, certainly at the moment, what we've just outlined is just more of like a general overview of who we're going for.
I think because he's aiming at young innovators, early startups. So again, if you look at the startup culture, and you could look at the startup culture as an industry. It is an industry. You know, you've got early startups, you've got late startups. If he's aiming at student innovators who need some seed funding or support, and if you're aiming at early startup entrepreneurs that are really at the first 6 to 12 months of their business, then you can identify the types of support that is provided out there typically for those types of innovators, those types of entrepreneurs. And and therefore you could look at the type of investment community that's interested in those types of entrepreneurs. And I know that Mohammed wasn't here to present the segmentation or the target markets. I think it'd be useful to really get to understand what it is about. Who are these investors? Bearing in mind that they are Rwandan innovators, so you may have people in the crowd funding communities that would be delighted to, I don't know, give a couple of $100 to support a young innovator in a developing country like Rwanda. So that's one side of the segments. And I think also one area is, how important do you feel it is that Rafiki presents the testimonials, the stories of the young innovators and what their propositions are?
Thank you.
So I think my first point was an observation. My second point was a comment. How important do you feel it's important that the stories of young innovators are shared and told through the platform?
Well, I think it's very important really for us to show the people that are actually working with the organization. So obviously, to get towards these investors, you can't really just give them nothing saying we need the investment for this person. We really need to show them something, show them the projects, or show them the people that are working with. So whether it's like a graduate who's trying to develop a startup or develop a project or something, I think that's, if we can show them like I don't know, imagery or a statement from these actual people, I think that's makes it much easier for investors to actually invest into it.
Yeah, I agree.
I think completely. It's really important to actually show it on the website, because then it also, I would say it's also engaging. So when you see something like that, it makes you think. So rather than just having, we worked with this person, blah, 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 it's better to have like a face to it, an image, a name, and then a statement next to it, or a quote, like they really helped us, what they've done for us, something like that.
Absolutely. I think, I think this is an important issue that we constantly tell young innovators. I'm sure Odilon and Leopold, who may still be with us, have heard this from us time and time again. And many of you picked up on this issue. It's, using social media and telling very simple stories about the products, the services, and the proposition. And then you're right. As soon as you see a person explaining their own words what it is they're doing and the support they're looking for, and the market, the impact that they're beginning to achieve, it really is, on an emotional level, it connects so much stronger beyond a rational, give me some money and text. People respond to really great storytelling, something we always tell all of you about as well. Storytelling is such a powerful force these days. Authentic storytelling. I'm sure Rafiki, I was sending him some of the images while he was taking his representatives around the farm. So he was delighted to see the work that you guys have done. Do please find out. I know that there have been technical issues this morning. It happens, it happens. So if people have genuine technical issues, or if they're sick or ill or not well, we act compassionately on that basis. I couldn't join a meeting the other day because of a technical issue at their end, actually. So it's okay. Really loved the presentation. Very professional, very consistent. You've picked up on the idea that I had asked for, images and only a few words, I think.
I didn't want to throw too much information on it, because I think if there's too much information, it just muddles up.
No, I think again, it's I hope this is a team effort, and I think you've created something which we can all learn from. Really, I mean, it's a very consistent, quality-driven presentation, and the power of images is important, because then you are able, all of you are then able, just eloquently talk with the slide in the background. What I want to see more of in the future, and I'm sure if Deborah was here, she would agree. I'm speaking on her behalf, but I've worked with her for long enough. Less words, more of you don't read from the slides. You know, the fact in a Zoom presentation, you don't even need to read from the slides. You can put the image up there and you can have your notes next to you. Who's to know? You know, so you know, so use the environment wisely. Images, a Zoom platform or a Microsoft Teams or an online meeting is really the perfect place to have image, and you talk around the image. That's why I asked you to do it that way, because people can read the slides probably quicker than you can say them, and you don't know what people are doing when you're talking. They could be, you know, on mute, dealing with WhatsApp conversations, answering their emails, whatever. I want you to realize that this communication mechanism, you've got to connect with somebody that is with you the whole time during your presentation. Put the images up and have your words by your side, or have your words on the screen. You know, we can't see it unless you're sharing your screen. We can't see that. So use it to your advantage in this situation. Ryan and team, thanks so much for a great presentation, and I will pass on well, I know you'll share, won't you, the presentation with him, Ryan?
Yeah,
sure
I will share the presentation notes with
yeah.
him. I'm still waiting for the questions like we've sent to him to get the answers back, which will help us with our research.
Okay.
But yeah, thank you.
Good work. Thank you so much. Do stay. I think we have one more team. I think we have Mrs. Ingrid's team. Oh, have we?
Yeah, we're here. Morning.
Hello.
Morning, everyone. Morning,
Hello.
Daryl.
How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well. I'm enjoying the morning. Yeah.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Okay, so first of all, I would like to introduce Robert to you guys. I would like to tell you more about him first.
Please,
So
Robert can't be here, but imagine he is here. Okay.
Yeah, okay. So Robert is a economic development officer, and he works for the government at the moment. And also he's the owner of Heritage Rwanda Limited. He previously worked as a primary teacher and also secondary teacher for 5 years. He also worked with Koika as a piano teacher. His vision is to kind of like, he would like to reach youth in Burera district. So I assume that's where he's based, that's where he works, to give them career guidance and youth kind of employment, also guidance on it. And also his main vision, he said in his messages, is he would like to turn his company into an NGO. I would like to ask Medina to take us through his strengths and opportunities, please. Over to you, Medina. Thank you.
Hello. Now we're on SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis is a planning and management technique used to help a person or organization identify strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats related to business. Our strengths are that he's passionate about his country, so he's most likely appealing towards his community rather than going off profit. And also he has experience with working with youth as he volunteers in youth projects in order to support the community, and he has some social media such as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Yeah, thank you, Medina. I would like to invite Natalie to tell us about youth unemployment schemes in Rwanda, please.
Hi, so Robert's initial mission is to reach youth and to help them with their careers and all in all reduce youth unemployment. But I want to talk about what's already been put in place. So the government of Rwanda put in place the Rwanda National Employment Policy, and this was adopted in 2007. And the Economic Development and Poverty Reduction Strategy was put in place also, whose main priority was to stimulate entrepreneurship and increase productivity and new job creation. However, unlike Robert, they weren't tackling the issue of youth unemployment, but more so the issue of unemployment as a whole. This could be an opportunity for Robert, but there's other hurdles in terms of competition for him. So IPRC Kigali is a polytechnic college, and they strive to find opportunities for students who left high school or are transferring into college or etc. And they aspire to be a leading world-class institution and want to create technical solutions to social and industrial needs of Rwanda. How does this affect Robert's business? Well, IPRC is well known in Kigali, and with their mission of educating students in order to repair Rwanda's industry and society, it's more like a win-win situation. So people would be more inclined to partake in their program rather than Robert's, which is why our marketing plan must be unique and something new to Rwandans. Also, the Survivors Fund completed a year in partnership with the Association of Student Genocide Survivors on the ELE project, which is focused on empowering vulnerable young people who have left secondary school in Rwanda to create secure and sustained employment. And they turned around more than the lives of more than 900 survivors. And they bring the youth together and they work together to build trust and skills to create businesses. And this could potentially become one of Robert's main competitors, since it helps youths and survivors simultaneously, and it's in partnership with a very big organization. The Princess Trust, with the Harambe Youth Employment Accelerator, they work together to deliver digital employability programs for young people in Kigali. HYEA is a social enterprise that works with governments and private sectors. So this makes Princess Trust also a main competitor against Robert, since it has a lot of backing from external sources and has more connections. And so creating more connections within the community would largely increase the chances of Robert's business growing quickly and successfully.
Thank you, Natalie. As we mentioned earlier, Robert was saying he would like to turn his company into NGO. So I'd like to ask Courtney to take us over the slide, please.
Hi, so like we said, he wants to become an NGO. However, he would have to be extra vigilant when doing this, as there have been more laws created in order to become an NGO. So one of these laws is that there's more document requirements. For example, he would go through a probation period where they get a temporary certificate of registration, which he would then have for 12 months. During that 12 months, he should then apply for a legal personality, which is 9 months after getting the temporary registry certificate. The Rwanda Governance Board would then either refuse registration or deregister an NGO on these grounds of convincing evidence that the applicant may jeopardize security, public order, health, morals, or human rights. If none of these happen, then obviously they would then complete their registration to become an NGO. The document requirements for an NGO registration are of significant importance. They must submit documentation on the implementation of their programs, their cost estimates, who will continue their work when the program ends, and all information relating to its geographical establishment throughout the world. NGOs are registered for 5 years only, and the Rwanda Governance Board would monitor NGOs to ensure that they are not spending more than 20% on their overheads, which are ongoing costs to operate a business, and they would also have to provide annual audited reports on activities.
Thank you, Courtney. So once Robert's company kind of turns into NGO, I kind of came across a very beneficial website called Global Giving. So I would kind of advise Robert to kind of look into it. Global Giving is the world's first crowdfunding community that was launched in 2002, and also is a top-rated non-profit charity that supports other non-profits by connecting them to charities, donors, and other non-profits in over 170 countries. So I think that would be very, very beneficial to Robert. Also, Global Giving believes in the power of great ideas that can come from anyone, anywhere, and anytime. So Robert could actually share his ideas on this platform. So he can actually join this website for free. The website only charges between 5 to 12% on donations and drives higher returns than any other platforms. It would help him also gain visibility and new donors through their credibility. People like Robert can share his ideas on this platform, and individual donors and companies can easily support vetted non-profits through Global Giving. Also, Global Giving performs rigorous due diligence on every organization in the Global Giving community in order to ensure they're performing charitable work in a transparent and accountable manner. Their mission is to help non-profits and donors to have more impact rather than making a profit. Robert can actually join Global Giving to create fundraising pages and access tools like training, one-on-one support to help him get the funding and resources they need. And also, Global Giving was named a Washington Post workplace in 2021. I would like to, whoops, I lost you. I would like to hand it over to Maya, please, now. Thank you. Hello, Maya?
Hi, sorry, yes. Adding on to the Prince Trust Harambee Youth, it would be an advantage for Robert to collaborate with them, because they then offer further education, which he could actually help with doing that afterwards. Looking at the weaknesses that he's got is, I was looking at his social media, especially his Facebook. He hasn't got really sufficient, he's not really updating that. And I think when you're actually operating a business, maybe you should continue updating your social media. Target market, we can see that he's targeting the youth market, and he wants to help people, especially with trainings of people with disabilities or mental health issues. And the marketing ideas that I came across was, after he helps someone with their training, maybe he could possibly do a WhatsApp survey on asking about their feedback on how they actually thought it was. We also came across this Coro job portal, which he could collaborate with, and actually it would be easier, or an idea he could actually do something similar. Unfortunately, they are kind of a competitor at the same time, but if he does something similar to them, he could possibly grow up and actually be able to do a website as well.
Thank you, Maya. I'd like to also add, I've come across a job portal called Cora.rw. So I was thinking also, Robert, you could maybe kind of sign up with this website and maybe kind of like advertise what is it you're looking for regarding training youth. Also, the other thing was, I've seen it's called budget allocation for youth projects. So maybe if he could reach out to youth, because this one is a government deal. So the government deals with youth unemployment through the National Youth Council, which is meant to bring the youth together and address the common issues through youth and unemployment being one of the key issues. So I was thinking maybe if he could link with a National Youth Council as well. I also come across something called Mobile Employment Services. So this one is run by Rwanda Development Board. So this one supports the already existing employment services that are located in Musanze and Kigali, which would be really kind of, it's a good location for him as well. So, and also this kind of center reaches out to unemployed in remote areas in the country as well. I would like to also ask Preet, do you have anything for us, please? Can you hear us, Preet?
Who's speaking?
Preet. I'm just asking if she's got anything to add. Maybe, Preet? No? Okay. So I would like to maybe ask Daryl or anyone, like, what if you would like to add, or does anyone else would like to say anything?
Thank you, Ingrid. And thank you to the way you and your team come across as very organized, that it was seamless, the way you go from one person to another, who each knew their role. The research you're doing is testament to the, to the quality of the work you're putting together. I saw that. Can you put that up again? Put that research slide up again. Can you do that? Where's the research slide? The last slide, wasn't it? Yeah, amazing. I mean, that's wonderful work. What in the space of 6 weeks? I mean, this is powerful. Research leads. So the important point about when you're in this really messy front end of developing anything is, research, and this is the benefit of doing research. But it's not just going out there scattergun. It's like being really clear about, okay, what is the problem we're trying to solve? What is the problem we're trying to solve? Therefore, in terms of how do we find out how we solve the problem, given that we can't yet talk to the client, and in this situation, given that we're not in Rwanda. So, okay, what problem do we want to solve? So what do we need to find out? And then you start to list these questions down, what you want to find out, what you want to solve, what you want to find out. And then you'd go and try and do your desk research, because that's the only thing you've got available to you in the early stages. You have no budget for going to Rwanda and talking to the stakeholders or talking to the potential beneficiaries, but you can make some suggestions to him as to the sorts of research that could take place. So this is good to see, this research that supports the presentation, alphabetical order, well referenced. This becomes important for you as a student as well. It shows that your ideas are based on substance and there's a strong foundation to them. So I meant get into the habit now of the research, the referencing. Quite often, referencing is included in the assessment criteria, because it's we want to see, how much care and attention you take to certain details. It's not just what you say, it's how you say it and the credibility of what you are saying. And that's a skill that's not just for an assessment, it's a skill in life. I see quite a few presentations that are subjective, have very little research. Then again, I see a lot of reports which have some good quality research. So keep going with the references. That's fantastic. This movement from a business to an NGO is something that is a Rwandan issue. And there's all sorts of models now that we should encourage you and anyone to explore. So no longer is it just the case that you set up a business. You could set up a business with a social mission. So it could be a for-profit business, but it has a social mission. If you think about COP26 right now in Glasgow, that has a link back to business. Big businesses, through their communication, through the products they're developing, through pricing, distribution, supply chain, are all considering how they create sustainable organizations as part of their corporate social responsibility. In Rwanda, there's other alternatives, NGOs, yes, and an NGO is a not-for-profit. So if you're representing a not-for-profit, get into the habit of calling it an NGO, not a commercial business, and get to understand the importance about non-government organizations, that they really are developing projects to support beneficiaries on a sustainable way. And they have to continually seek funding, or they have to find a way without funding to do the job that needs to be done as volunteers. So they have a very different agenda to a commercial company. But it is true that for a non-government organization to be sustainable and to last, and for the project to last beyond the initial passion and enthusiasm, it needs some funding from somewhere. But the pre-funding phase can take some time. Shibuka is blessed because Shibuka has Deborah and myself that have a salaried position, and we do our work, and that enables us to do free work for our own NGO. That is the situation as it currently is. We want to bring funding in, but we're able to do the work we want to do because we have a salaried position elsewhere. We are volunteering to our own organization, and if we weren't doing that, you wouldn't have this opportunity now, and the entrepreneurs will not have this opportunity now. So great work, and very well organized, and I would encourage you to keep moving forwards.
Thank you, Daryl.
Yeah, pleasure. Thank you too. It's been a wonderful morning, and I would just like, I know you've just come straight off of a session, but I know you and Ryan are the course representatives. What I'd like you to do as course reps beyond this meeting is to encourage your colleagues to give feedback about this session. They don't need to do it now, but we'd really appreciate some feedback to this session about what they got out of it. And because this helps the development of this type of assessment, which is very important, and also how we can, move things forwards in future. But Ryan, I just wonder if you would like to say some closing words to everybody as a course representative.
Yeah, I just wanted to say on that note, I was going to mention about referencing. So when I was looking for referencing, not everyone I don't know if my reference is not perfect, but with referencing, there's a lot of material on how to reference. Yeah. I know with the library services, they have a guide on how to reference, and I know I use that often. So for anyone that wants to know how to reference or to better their references, there are guides available for you.
Absolutely, they're all there. Yeah, they're all there, and maybe they're in the library online. Are they in the library? Are there PDFs?
There's a guide in the library, and there is information online as well. It could be also on your Blackboard too. With giving feedback on this amazing module so far and this session, me and Ingrid are both course representatives specifically for the BA HRM course.
Oh yes, of course.
So obviously, I don't know if the economic course representatives.
Yeah.
But with giving feedback, when we give feedback, it goes through. We can obviously do it on the.
To Simon, as your HRM course leader, yeah.
But with giving feedback, it's you guys can just go to one of the course meetings. I know with HRM, we have our course meetings on Tuesdays normally after most of the finance and accounting lessons.
Yeah, but what I'd appreciate, Ryan, is, and I don't know who are the economics course leaders here? Are you here? Maybe not.
I don't know.
Okay, so forget what course you're on, Ryan. What I'd appreciate is, as a member of this marketing in practice community, I'd like them to give feedback to you and to Ingrid beyond the meeting. Okay, it doesn't matter whether economics or HRM. It's important that for Deborah and I that we get some feedback. That's all. Yeah. Okay. But again, do you want to do some closing remarks on this morning's meeting? Given that there are people that were here and people that now have had to leave us, do you want to do that?
Oh, I just realized we have 14 participants. It went from 30 down to 14.
No, well, that's okay.
Yeah, I would just like to say it's so far it's been like a great session. It's been very informational. There's been a lot of different information that's been given from the start till finish. I know everyone's presentation styles are different. I think like as you said before, when it comes to presenting, when we're doing these presentations, it's much easier to have more like a storytelling and have more just images. Because I noticed when I was looking at it, just from my view, there was a lot of more text or just a bunch of images on one slide, rather it being more like clean and easy presented. For me, it's a lot of information, but I just like to say that overall, I think it's been a unique session. I know, as you said, everyone in here may have not done something like this before. So I think this is a good opportunity, a good experience. And even with improving everyone's like presenting, I think this is also a good experience with most things moving online. So being able to present online as well as in person is also a good thing to pick up on. Ingrid, is there anything else you would like to say?
Yeah, I would just like to say thank you to Daryl for such an kind of amazing experience, like for us to be able to develop a marketing plan for our clients in Rwanda, and hopefully one day, you know, if our plan goes according to plan and he will manage to somehow put it together, I think it would be so great to go and visit him. I think that would be like a lifetime.
That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? How many of you would like to go to Rwanda?
I would love to do it, just to see, you know, like our hard work kind of put into
practice.
Put into it. So yeah, that would be really amazing to see.
I mean, again, this is at very early stages. So, you know, remember where we are in the process of developing marketing ideas for these organizations. It's a very good idea. Maybe we will look at making that happen. I know currently, of course, COVID and field placements and field activities is all on hold still. That's not just a Westminster thing. That's a university-wide, I think that's a university across UK thing. But certainly I think these opportunities are marvelous if we can get together physically and find the funding for that. But we are where we are, still recovering from pandemic. I think I read the other day that field opportunities are now are on hold again because of COVID. So I don't think that's a Westminster thing. I think that's probably broadly a university sector thing laid down by government as well. Okay, Alima, you've got your mic open. Did you want to say something?
No, I think accident.
Okay. Does anybody else want to say anything before we finish the session? Everyone's gone quiet.
I just want to double check, Daryl. So next week, is it on campus or is it online?
Yeah, I think I think I want us to come back. That's a good question. Thanks for asking. Yes, I think we should come back on campus next week for sure. And meet you for sure. Absolutely. So 9 o'clock next week, we will be there together. Good question. I will, in terms of registers for today, I need to manually input the data on the system. So do not worry, because you obviously couldn't lock in today or clock in, or it's not on Blackboard. So I know who's here. I've taken screenshots of who was here, and I'll make sure, if not, certainly by early next week, the registration system will be updated. Okay. Everybody, thank you so much for your contributions and for your efforts and for this learning experience. Celebrate your achievement today. And yeah, well, I'm sure we'd all like to say, if we can all open up our mics and say bye-bye to the entrepreneurs, that'd be nice.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. See you next week. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.